Boom! We're back, baby. Welcome back to another Tuesday night chat with the Muskrat and Mr. Creole catfishing. What's going on, my Cajun brother?
We back home, brother.
Yeah,
We back home. I'm now in home base. It's hot. It's humid. There's mosquitoes everywhere. And nothing like home, right?
Yeah, we're not on the water tonight, although I wish I was, but sitting at home. Tonight we're joined by Mr. Aaron Grubb. Hello, welcome, buddy.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing really good. Anytime we get to sit down and talk about fishing and with some like-minded people, it's a good time. We're coming off a fresh weekend of catfishing with the kids. We'll touch on that here in just a little bit. But before we get fired up and going, we say hello to a couple folks hanging out and chat with us tonight.
Yeah, buddy.
I see Stonefly 71. He put the number one up there. He wanted that number one seat.
He got it.
He got it. Miss Chrissy Brown's in the house as well. Chrissy, welcome. Hello. Kentucky Redneck, what's happening, buddy? Dale Hayslip, thank you. Dale, another big supporter of the tournament this weekend, and Kevin Walters. Kevin Walters, too. Big hats off to him. Went way above and beyond for the kids. Just can't thank you enough, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Big Rich Catfishing. What's going on, buddy? We missed you. We've been missing you. Here's Miss Becca. Miss Becca, thanks for tuning in. Also, a big help for me over the weekend, helping run the kids tournament. Helped me keep my head straight, that's for sure.
She kept the dad jokes flowing.
Yeah, she keeps me in line.
Somebody got
Dave Funk. He knows a thing or two about fishing up on Hoover. We'll circle back to that here in just a little bit. Sasquatch Custom Lures. What's going on? Oh, I seen Aaron Grubb is a beast out on the water. That's right. That's why he's hanging out here.
They know.
There's our brother Skip Stewart over at Clearview Outdoors. What's up, brother Skip? He was out on the water yesterday, I believe. A solo trip. It's tough out there. We got Super Smurf Eric. What's cracking, buddy? Daryl Trophy Seekers Outdoors. Eddie Fife. Eddie, also another big help to the kids' tournaments this weekend. Thank you for your help. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody.
Let's see. Mr. Robert Linton's in the house. Let's see who else. Got Butterflies in the Sunshine, as always. What's going on? Good to see you. And I believe we might actually be caught up, Roger, believe it or not. But
I see Robert Linton in the house.
Yep.
We might be caught up. We got 31 people in chat. That, some of them are just watching, and they're afraid to say hello because then they got to say hello 31 times.
Those numbers usually climb a lot about 5 minutes in. Everybody's getting a notification. They're getting them something to drink. They come and get comfortable. It takes a few minutes.
So, but while they're doing that, I just want to say big thanks to everybody that helped out with the kids tournament this weekend. Big success. There's Pam feeling catty. She also jumped in some donations toward making the event good. Justin's Fishing Fetish won Pam's giveaway.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That worked out pretty cool.
Well, quit hitting buttons. I got it. I'm good.
I'm done. I'm leaving it alone. And Harold Bolton in the house. What's up, Harold? Channel member. But we had several kids compete over the weekend. Man, I got lots of compliments and comments, not only from the kids, but the parents and then people who were watching at home. Just a big shout out, to everybody that helped support, not only, through chat and then also through donations, but then the actual parents, grandparents, uncles, brothers, cousins, whoever it took to get a kid out there and fishing this weekend. Hats off to you. Like I said, there were some folks that just said, they really needed this time to just set aside. And this was a great excuse to do that. What's up, Greg?
Come on, Greg.
So just to give a recap on kind of how things went, the age group 1 to 9, the kids won Big Fish, went to Axon Jackson, and with a 41.5 pound blue cat, which is that's a great fish for all of us. I don't care where you are.
You better believe it is.
And he also got most fish for the day with 15. So hats off to him. And Miss Lauren won small fish. So great prizes there. And then on the 10 to 16 age group, we had Brantley fishing with Danny Stone. Hey, man. Thank you, Big Wrench.
Appreciate it, Brian.
Appreciate that, brother. I got a lot of stuff to ship out. I still got stuff coming right now to ship out once it gets here. So hopefully I get it within the next day or two. I can put all this stuff together and get it out to everybody quick. But fishing with Danny Stone was Brantley, and his sister Coda ends up taking most fish of the day and also small fish. And man, she was that day watching
river rats, baby.
That's right, river rats. They were on the bank. Those kids were learning. I don't know what we got to do to get Danny to have the kids stop catching turtles, but the kids are catching turtles and bullhead all day long. But they mixed in enough catfish to make it count. So it was a big success. Like I said, every kid went home with something. Thank you to Kevin Walters, who kind of stepped in and said, "Hey, every kid that did not win anything, send me their name and address, and I'm gonna hook them up with a $50 gift card to his website."
Awesome.
So
that is amazing.
Every kid got to take home something. So I'll quit preaching about that. We're gonna be getting geared up for the next event, which will be in Halloween. Some fish for fish. What's going on?
Cheers, baby.
We'll be looking forward to making the Halloween bigger and better and badder every year. So we're going to keep pushing to get that out there. Now, let's get to the highlight of the show.
Yes.
Mr. Aaron Grubb. Aaron, if you don't mind, kind of introduce yourself, where you're from, where you fish, family life, what you got.
What the? Hang on. Give me a second. I got it.
Who are you, man?
My name's Aaron Grubb. I primarily fish the Scioto River. I'm born and raised in Chillicothe, Ohio. I'm targeting flathead primarily. I'll go after blue cat, channel cat, catfish in general. But no kids right now. Just got 2 dogs, German Shepherd and a little wiener dog. But yeah, I mean, every day I'm off, I'm on the water. You'll see me out on the water, primarily the Scioto River.
Awesome.
And for those of you that aren't familiar with the area, the Scioto River is a small river that runs through pretty much smack dab in the middle of Ohio. Runs all the way down and joins the Ohio River down here in my neck of the woods. But it's a small river, a lot of skinny water, a lot of obstacles. So it's when you say Scioto River to most of you guys, it's not a river like you're used to seeing. This is a small river. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to grab Aaron is not only does he fish a small river, but he does it primarily from a kayak.
Yep.
That's right.
And so, as Jeremy and I, are boat anglers and we both fish bigger rivers, although the Ohio is not big compared to most, it's bigger than the Scioto. I wanted to get Aaron in here and talk a little bit about fishing small rivers, talk about fishing out of a kayak. And you bank fish as well, and so those are both things that Jeremy and I are not real good at. Well, Jeremy can go sit on a bank and slay flatheads apparently at will.
Look, hey, a blind hog will find an acorn every now and then. Just throwing that out there.
Put enough time on the water, change spots up, you'll find them.
Right there, Clearview Outdoors, him and his son, Terry Stewart, that's Skip Stewart. They love to run the Scioto River, and they fish it a lot. His son primarily fishes the Scioto River. So
I actually seen Terry where I was fishing during that tournament. He was fishing there the same day. During that Scioto River tournament, I ended up winning.
Well, here's the thing. You primarily fish small rivers. But I've got results right here in front of me that say you can handle yourself okay on big reservoirs too. So
absolutely,
this here was poop. I don't know what I did. Let me see if I can get back to where I was.
Absolutely, Danny. Had a good time having on screen, brother.
So this right here was the Stop 3 Chubby Fish Outdoors on Hoover. And I don't know how many times you fished Hoover, but you took home the win over a lot of great anglers. A lot of people follow Justin Johnson, especially the kayak guys. Traveled all the way over here to fish in this tournament, and you knocked out a lot of big names. Our buddy Ryan Borch was out there with you, along with several other great anglers. And but you took home the win fishing that day with 115.25 inches. So those of you that do follow some of these online tournaments, you understand that fishing out of a kayak, these guys are measuring their fish instead of weighing their fish. So getting a fish to get on the boat or get in the kayak is half the battle. Getting it to stay still on a board so you can put your number up and take a picture sometimes doesn't always work out as planned. But I know that you've been on a roll here lately, fishing these tournaments, and Eddie's in chat says that's an impressive win right there. Taking out some of those other guys. So let's start with your bread and butter, right? Small river, side of river. When you decide you're going to go out and fish, let's say you're going to go fish Saturday. What do you do mentally to prepare to go out Saturday looking at a small river? Because at a big river, bigger river system like ours, we got all these gauges and dams that we can look at to tell us what's going on. On a small river that doesn't have that information, what are things that go through your mind to help you decide when and where you're going to go?
So we have this thing called River App, and it'll tell us the flow, the height, and everything of the river. I'll look at that. I'll see, for one, I've been fishing a kayak, so I want to see if it's safe to actually get on the river. So once I've established that it's safe, if it's high and it's borderline of being safe, I'm going to hit the banks. I'm looking for like bends. I'm looking for kind of shallow water close to deep. You can find an eddy, then you're really going to get on the fish. Eddy, slack water, when you're talking about heavy current like that, and the Scioto, especially when it's up, you get some slack water that's close to deep water where it's eddying right there. You'll get on some fish right there. If it's low, then if it's real low like it is right now, I'm looking for deep holes on bends. I'm looking for something different in the river. If we're looking at miles of the same old thing on a river, and then all of a sudden you've got tons of rocks, you've got tons of structure, you've got tons of depth, then I want to go ahead and hit them areas right there. Those are the areas that are going to produce flathead. They're going to produce flathead, channel cat, blue cat. They're all going to be in them deep holes, especially when it's so hot like it is right now.
Now, a lot of folks aren't used to hearing blue cats coming out of the side of the river, but I know for a fact that they're up there, and I'm sure you've got your share of blues now, even up in Chillicothe area. So, what sizes are you seeing up in there?
The biggest ones that we've seen, because I run the side of river fishing reports too. Me personally, I've caught biggest one was maybe 20 pounds, something like that, out of the Scioto up north where I'm at.
Right.
Now, I've seen other people catch them. Like my brother, he caught one he caught it near Lucasville. It was 33 pounds. It was 41 inches out of the Scioto River.
I know Skip's in here right now, and him and Terry caught, I believe, well, I don't want to give their location away, but I believe they caught one in the 30s or 40s. In the Scioto, so
wow,
they
blue for the Scioto.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But so in case we got some local folks here that aren't used to hearing blue cats are in the Scioto, I don't know how long it's been since they really started making their way up through here, but they're up in here. And, I'm not 100% sure how far they run, but up until at least Chillicothe, I know for a fact that they're up until that point.
So the farthest that I know for a fact that they are up in the Scioto is I've seen them up in South Bloomfield, because I got a buddy, shout out to Josh Schneider with Kayackers. He's caught blue cat up in South Bloomfield before. Nothing real big, probably maybe 10 pounds, but there are blue cats moving all the way up to South Bloomfield.
That's pretty impressive considering, just I don't know how many, it ain't been that many years ago that you never heard of a blue at all ever coming out of the Scioto River. And
when I first started my group, you don't know how many people would tell me that there's no blues in the Scioto or anything, and I'm like, I catch them out of the Scioto. I know they're in there. And people would argue with you for hours about it.
Well, I believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, that same down here. People would say, there's no blues in that river. I was like, oh yeah, it's connected to the Ohio. What do you mean there's no gate to stop them from swimming up here?
Yep.
They keep following I think a lot of it has come to because of the stricter regulations on water contamination and things like that, what they're allowed to put in the water. Not to say that Chillicothe or any of the other cities on the Scioto, dumped a lot of, things they shouldn't have dumped in the river, but I think they did. But stricter regulations on that has made cleaner water, made it more abundant in the resources for the fish, and they're thriving in areas they couldn't have thrived before.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not either, Kevin.
Yeah, that's what he says. He's not coordinated enough to fish from a kayak.
I'm sure you could be. Some of the kayaks nowadays, you've got kayaks like Mike. He fishes out of a 13-foot kayak. That's dang near as big as a John boat. And I can stand up. He can dang near do a cartwheel out of his. So you get a big enough kayak, you'd be surprised.
Well, he's only 3 foot tall, so might be able to pull. He can do a couple cartwheels on a 13-foot kayak.
Ouch!
I'll give you that. He is a pretty small fella.
Ouch!
That's just in case he's watching and he's not commenting. I'm going to try to get him.
I heard there was a couple of guys. Speaking of that I think they said they'd be on the road, but they would be tuning in and watching our guest. I know one for sure was Kayak Catfish himself, Justin Johnson. So if he is listening, like he said, shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you tuning in. So, all right, so we'll get back to it here. So you're looking for basically abnormalities, all right? So if you see a stretch of water that's just pretty, consistent, sand, mud, and then all of a sudden you got trees.
Yeah.
You're gonna go straight to those locations and pick out that. So
yeah, but like I said, in the summertime you want depth. In the Scioto, you really want depth. That's where they're going to be living at. Unless the water's high, then they'll be in the shallows, close to that deep water. I've noticed. Okay. Seems like on the Scioto.
I have a question. Being I'm not familiar with the area, average depth on that river, what would you say it is?
I would say the average depth is 3 to 6 feet, probably.
Okay. So when you say a deep hole, what kind of depth are you talking about? So
that, in my opinion, it depends on the area. So there's some areas where like I said, it might be 3 foot for miles and miles and miles. Then you find a 10-foot hole. That hole right there is going to hold flathead.
Gotcha. Okay.
Especially if you've got the right kind of structure and rock cover, everything you need for a flathead.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that there's areas on the Scioto that are 20 to 30 feet deep.
Yep.
And they're not common, but they're there. And
if you're averaging a 4-6 foot deep river and find 30 foot of water, that is a really, really deep hole.
Oh yeah.
For that body of water. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I was reading chat. Skip saying that Terry was telling him that Aaron was catching blues in the Scioto, and he was saying that they had to be channels. He didn't believe it until I seen the pictures.
And I would bet that has happened a lot, that people actually have caught some blues and they say, oh, there's no way. There's no blues in here. That's got to be a channel cat. Misidentification, which certain times of year is kind of easy if you think about it.
All right. So I think I know the answer to the next question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So fishing the Scioto, what's your preferred method? Are you fishing right on top of structure? Are you spot locked? Do you actually prefer to tie off to somewhere, or do you actually drift or drag?
So primarily I'm going to tie off to something. I got what's called brush grips.
Yep.
And we'll flip them on the rock, branches, whatever. And I have a kayak cleat. I'm going to cleat off to that and throw out. I might throw one real shallow, might throw one real deep, and just kind of, I'll use peg floats a lot of the time. I think having enough off the bottom really helps.
Yeah.
I got you. So you're going to tie off above your structure that you're fishing?
Yep.
Throw back to it?
Yeah, and I might give it 30 minutes an hour. Sometimes if I'm in a tournament, I might only give it 15 minutes and then head out. Now, sometimes, if I'm just fishing just for fun, I might give it heck, I might give one spot. If I think it's good enough, I might give it all night. I might stay all night in one spot if I think they're going to be moving through there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, are you like when fishing structure? Are you the type of fisherman that you like to throw right to the structure and have them try to come out to you, or are you throwing in it and then try to pull them out of it?
So if it's daytime, I'm throwing right in it.
Okay.
I'm damn near trying to get snagged.
Gotcha.
In the daytime.
Okay.
Yeah. Now at nighttime, I'm going to throw right in front of it. I'm going to throw one to one side and one to the other side and let them come out.
Okay. All right. I like it.
You got somebody tuning in. Ty says, that's my fishing hole, the Scioto. You might.
Well, share it, bud.
What's up, Sean? So obviously there's no mapping really involved in the Scioto River. Are you guys, sharing mapping? Are you guys going out mapping this stuff out yourself, or are you just pretty much, it's all in your head now? You know where shallow, where deep is.
So for the longest time, I fished it since 2019 on a kayak. Actually, the first time I ever went on a kayak, I was in a 10-foot sun dolphin. Pure luck, man. I'm telling you, pure luck. I went out there and cut up some shad, threw it out there, and I caught what was my PB up until this year, actually. I caught one that was 42 inches, which was, I don't know, 40-something pound range, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty good experience, man. I'm sorry, what was the original question?
I don't know. I was listening to you. I got caught up in that too. We got somebody from Facebook calling you a liar. They're calling you out. Said Aaron knows he's caught more without peg floats in the Scioto than with them.
It's got to be somebody you know.
Yeah, they didn't allow StreamYard for us to see their name, so they're hiding behind Facebook user for now.
Oh yeah, they're laughing about it. So it's somebody you know.
Yeah, I'll definitely use both. I'm not gonna lie, but I will always have one out with a peg float because you never know if they're gonna want it up off the bottom.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what rig are you primarily running?
Usually just a regular Carolina rig, and a regular peg float might have a rattle on it or two.
So
and I'm really.
Old Uncle knows. That's what
old Uncle knows.
Oh yeah, that's my uncle. He's good fisherman. I put him in big fish before. He's got one that was close to 50 pounds too.
I got you. So he run a Carolina rig. I would have assumed he was throwing 3-way rigs with the breakaway sinker for snags and stuff. That's what I typically do on flathead, throwing right in structure. I generally throw a 3-way, and if the sinker gets hung, it's gone. I don't care.
Yeah, that'd probably be a smart thing to do, but I haven't been doing that.
Hey, whatever you're doing, don't change it because it's working.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You catching fish, it ain't wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if you feel the same way or not, but for me, confidence is 50% or probably 90% of fishing. Is you got to believe in what you're doing.
Yep,
and do it with confidence. And if what you're doing is giving you confidence and it's giving you results, don't listen to me.
Exactly.
Larry Muse, don't listen to anybody else. Do what's working for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that plays a big role in it because my brother he never uses a float. He only uses Carolina rig. That's all he has confidence in. He catches big fish. He's won a couple of the Scioto River tournaments too. But me personally, we've had a kind of a debate. I really think that the Santee Cooper rig, like the peg float, I think that's probably a better fit for the Scioto most of the time. Sometimes, you got high water and stuff. I'd probably rather use a regular bottom rig. But yeah, confidence plays a key because either way, the fish is hungry enough, it's going to eat it.
Yeah. Here's a question from Justin's Fishing Fetish. I know what's the average size sinker that you're using on the Scioto? So bearing not having flood conditions, Yeah.
I'm going to use 4 ounce if it's normal conditions.
Normal. I got you. Right now, you can probably get away with 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we pulled the map up for the Ohio River the other day, and the flow was 0.
Ooh.
0. I'm like, what?
It's time to drive.
It's even slow down here, believe it or not. Already we've slowed way down. So y'all aren't feeding us water anymore. See, that's
Here's a great question. This is usually one that starts a debate. But live bait or cut bait? I got my guess because you're in a kayak.
That was my next question, actually.
Yeah.
But
so I throw both. I throw cut bait most of the time, though. You know, I'm gonna start out with live. I don't have a lot of confidence in live, really. I'm gonna throw a lot of cut bait because I might start out with live, throw it on there for, I don't know, 2-3 hours till it dives, and then I don't get hit on it. I might get hit by a channel cat or something small, but as soon as I cut it up, man, within 15 minutes it seems like I'm getting on a decent sized fish. They like cut bait in Scioto. And a lot of people, you know, they swear by live bait. A lot of people like live bait. Live bait does work, but I got more confidence in cut bait more than anything, really. I've been catching them on cut carp here lately and cut shad. Big old shad, big carp.
Okay.
Really?
Now, when you say carp, that's a common carp?
Yeah, just common carp. If you can get about 2 pounds and chunk it up, I'll use the head. I'll use the body section. Okay. And here lately, they've been hitting on the body section. Huh. So that 40-inch that I caught it during tournament, that was on cut carp. And then the one that I posted to my TikTok video, that was like 36 inches, something like that, 37. That was on cut carp as well. But my big 53.5 pounder I caught recently, that was actually on a big shad is what I caught that one on. Cut shad.
Nice.
I got you. I don't know if you caught that comment. Facebook user came back in and says, I'll say Aaron is probably the most dedicated fisherman you'll meet. He puts the time in on the water, and you can't tell that boy nothing. He's going to find the best way for him to fish no matter what advice you give. Give him a challenge. He won't stop until he figures it out. So that's a huge compliment from
whoever said that. I really appreciate that.
That may be coming from your uncle. It may be because it says Facebook user again. That may be your uncle.
He might felt bad for whatever he said there a minute ago.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Hey,
Corey, I appreciate that.
As Aaron mentioned a minute ago, he does have a TikTok. Aaron doesn't have a YouTube channel yet, but he does have some videos up on TikTok. What's TikTok? And Becca has dropped the link for us. Thank you, Becca, for doing that. There we go. It's his channels or his TikTok. Is it considered a channel?
It is a TikTok channel. I've heard other people refer to it.
I don't know what the proper lingo is for that.
I think it is.
You can find him on TikTok at Circuit. Oh, what was it?
Circuit.
Yeah, Catfish Circuit.
That's what I call mine. So I'm gonna roll with it.
Here's another one. This one's somebody's digging right into our back pocket here. What are your thoughts on fillets? Do you like the? Ooh. So you're using cut bait. Do you play with the cuts of bait as far as you just pretty much chunk everything up? Jeremy and I both like to use a fillet. We'll fillet off a side and throw the other side and play with our cuts of bait. Is that something you generally do, or you pretty much it's chunked and good?
It depends on the size of the bait. Like if it's a real big piece of bait, I might fillet it. If it's just an average size shad or an average size bluegill, I've got a way that I usually cut it that works.
What's going on, Polar Bear? Long time no see, brother.
What's up, Chad? So we dug around a little bit about what's your Eddie was right ahead of me.
Hey, our chat is on top of things today. I love it.
I love it. I truly do love it when the chat's engaged like this and they're wanting information. Obviously, we asked Aaron to come on the show. He's been on a roll. I actually met Aaron at the gathering down in Tennessee. Harry's lived in Chillicothe all this time, but we just don't cross paths. He's fishing the Scioto River and doing his thing, and I fished Ohio and wherever else I can go fish. But when I got to talking to him, I was like, man, this guy, he's pretty hardcore. And then Zach said the same thing. Zach talked to him even more than I did, sitting down eating. Hey, there's my mama. There you go. She says she won't see you before Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to you all. Thank you,
I'm sure my mom's probably watching somewhere out there.
Oh yeah. We still got 60-some people in viewing right now, but we ain't got 60 people chatting. So there's some guys and girls out there that are watching.
Now, Dad is sitting on his recliner watching on the big screen. I promise you, that's where he's at. So he's one of the 62.
All right, so let's get back to that question,
Yes.
which was where we was heading next. Is let's talk about gear. Is it certain name brands of gear, rods, reels, line? Are you braid, mono guy, hooks? Let's cover the basis.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to be using Mad Catz rods.
Okay.
You know, I think everybody out here, not everybody, but a lot of people out here are going to Mad Catz rods. That's just because, I mean, they're a good rod. They're sturdy. You know, I've had them things bent over dang near to where rod tip was touching the butt. And I'm telling you, probably shouldn't have did that, but I'm telling you, they'll hold up to it. They're a strong rod.
Yeah.
And so as far as my bumping rod, I'll dabble in bumping every now and again. And I'll use Catch the Fever bumping rod. And I mean, it is a stiff, super nice rod. You can feel every little bump on it. It's got a, carbon fiber handle, I believe. I might be wrong. That might be wrong, but I think that's what it is.
I've used Catch the Fever's bumping rod.
Yep.
I've got my own personal favorites, but we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about you. So
Yeah.
you're running Mad Catz rods. What action do you like to run? We know Mad Catz does kind of run a little on the stiff side, opposed to most competitors. But what action are you running?
So I'm running medium heavy.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you wanting to horse them guys up out of there, ain't you?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you can't let them big flatheads get back down in the log jam. You got to get them out.
That's the main reason I want something stiff, man.
Okay. All right. So we got the rod. What kind of reel are you backing those bad boys up with?
So I use the Penn Squall 20 level line counter. I mean, I've got 3 of them. They all work fabulously, man. I'm telling you. And I back them up with a 40-pound mono. I'm using big game trilene.
I got you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, pound for pound, I think the Squall 20 is the toughest reel out there. I mean,
absolutely.
The price point ain't bad on it. They're a little bit pricier than some of the other stuff you can get. But in my opinion, man, the Squall is just like the tank workhorse of reels. I mean,
oh yeah,
it just doesn't fail, and they're made really good. The same with the Fathoms. The Fathoms are actually made even better.
Yeah.
Not that the Squall ever needed any bigger, beefier anything, but the Squall is even bigger and beefier. Skip actually serviced a couple of my reels, and he wanted to know, the difference between the Squall and the Fathom. And there's some big differences.
Okay.
But at the end of it, for what we do, I think it might be a little overkill. Like they're just ridiculous. There you go. Freddie is Outdoor Adventures. He actually targeted kayak anglers, and he built a short rod. And I don't know how you feel about a short rod, but he's got a 5-footer and a 6-foot rod out there. And I can tell you that I've put my hands on them, and they're pretty sweet. And we know that they can catch some big fish. We've got guys catching 60s and 70s on these 5- and 6-foot rods.
They'll handle them.
Now,
I got a couple buddies that use them. 5-6 rods, and I mean they'll catch big fish on them too. They work just as good.
So how do you feel about a shorter rod on a kayak? So I've gotten some other people. Some people say they love to have the short rod on the kayak. For one, it has a short butt on it, so you don't have a lot of rod handle sticking in your kayak. It's got a short handle on it, easy for you to get out and then fight the fish. A shorter rod, something that you have dabbled in, or something you haven't even thought about yet?
I personally like the 7.6s because I feel like I can cast them better. I do, like I said, I do bank fishing too, so I want the length. I don't want to have to buy a different rod just to bank fish.
Gotcha.
So, but as far as the shorter handle goes, yeah, shorter handle is definitely the way to get in a kayak. So I mean, I've got them 7.6 Mad Catz. They're not really meant for a kayak, and they're a little bit longer. They kind of get in the way of things and whatnot. But shorter handle. I think that'd be the way to go.
Yeah, Mad Cats does have a longer butt on it than a lot of the other competitors. And that's something I really like. So my personal favorite is the Uncle Lou's rods. And that's one of the features I really like. It does have a long butt on it. And that moves my reel farther up the rod and puts the power, just for leverage. If you're holding on the very end of a rod, the fish has the advantage. He has the leverage. Whereas you move that up and you get your hands higher up on the rod, the leverage starts to tilt back your way. In my opinion, that's just my personal opinion.
And then overall, the taller you are, the more comfortable you are with that longer butt, because you're not, when you're taller with a shorter butt section, you find yourself reaching down a little bit for your reel. It's not that comfortable position. So and I have a couple of Mad Cats too, and that same thing. It puts that reel for me right in the sweet spot, right where I like it to be.
Yeah, I have no complaints with my Mad Cats, man. I mean, they work fabulously. They'll catch big fish, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were just poking around because Freddie's in here. He owns the Freddie's Outdoor Adventures, company.
FOA Customs and Gear.
FOA Customs and Gear. Actually, Justin just said I can cast a 6-foot FOA rod just as far as I can a 7.6.
Yeah.
So
now with Freddie's, his is a carbon blend versus an E-glass rod.
Yeah, it's not an E-glass.
Thinner profile, lighter. Definitely.
Yeah.
You can almost bump with those rods. They're so light. I don't have one. Zach's grandson.
You put an idea in my head. We'll get to that later. You just gave me an idea. Okay.
That's dangerous.
Anyway.
I did see a question earlier. What gear do you not have that you wish you had right now?
I wish I had a kayak trailer. Right now I'm just putting it in the back of the truck, and it's the butt, man, I'll tell you.
Kayak trailer doesn't sound like a great investment.
Yeah.
It's in the works, man. Let me win this big tournament we got up in Sandusky, and I'll tell you, I have a kayak trailer the next week, I bet.
Yeah, Eddie raises an interesting point. I could be honest with you. It would be a consideration to me if I was a kayak angler, which is the Catfish Sumo Justin Johnson kayak edition, or the
Golly Whopper.
The Golly Whopper rod.
Yep.
So I'm sure you already know all about it.
Oh, that's a super nice rod. Yeah.
Yeah. That appeals to me, and I'm not even going to fish out of a kayak, but I do like that, interchangeable butt on it just for.
Yep. So I was looking at the original chopsticks by Catfish Sumo down there when I was down there in Chattanooga, down there at their warehouse, and I really like them. I'm debating on going to them. Them chopstick rods by Catfish Sumo.
Yeah.
They're pretty nice rods, man.
Yeah.
There you go. That's pretty cool. So you find your old jet ski trailer.
There's probably some sitting around. I imagine if you played around on Marketplace long enough, you'd snag you something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I found one that is exactly what I want, but it's more expensive than what I want to pay. I mean, it's $1,500 for a double. I want a double jet ski trailer because I might fish with someone else from time to time.
Gotcha.
Right.
So I was thinking about getting one of them. It's in the motion.
Justin wants to know what kind of electronics are you using on the boat?
So I'm using a Humminbird Helix 7 Mega Side Imaging. It's Gen 4.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yep.
The side imaging on those bad boys is incredible.
You can definitely see what you need to see on it.
Yeah. I mean, we've gone by tires and I can almost tell you the size. I mean, that's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Zach's Helix 12 Mega is just unreal, man. That's crazy. There you go. What has been the scariest moment while out fishing has Aaron encountered? This ought to be a good story.
Okay, so it was during tournament. The water was up. It was probably up higher than what I should have really been fishing it safely, but it was during tournament, dedicated, ready to fish, and ready to win. I knew that if I get on that kayak that day, I could find them slack water eddies, I'd win that tournament. Because I knew everyone else would be just resorting, because it's kayak or bank. I knew everyone else would just be bank fishing.
Gotcha.
So I went out. It was definitely a little higher than what it should have been. I got up against a log jam, that I couldn't get up off of. And I knew I was going to flip before I even got up off of it. The only way to get off of it was to pretty much flip into the water.
Oh.
So I left myself there. I kind of mentally, prepared for it. Just flip, let everything go in the water. Luckily, I didn't lose much. I lost about 10 pounds worth of lead. And then what else I lose? I lost my phone that I literally just bought the day before. So, yeah. But I lost about half my bait. I had about 20 bluegill. I ended up keeping about 7. Somehow my kayak flipped completely over. First thing I did after I flipped, I immediately, I had my life jacket on, obviously, so I wasn't drowning or anything. So I immediately flipped the kayak back over and I just started piling stuff as quick as I can grab it back onto my kayak so I wouldn't lose it. Everything that would float.
Yeah, that's a scary situation, man. You could have been pinned underwater into that log jam, and you might still be there.
I mean, that section of the Scioto River, it was every bit a 3-4 mile an hour current. I mean, it was rolling pretty fast. It might have even been faster than that. I don't know.
Ooh, that's I'd imagine that's scary for a kayak.
Yes.
The Scioto is a mighty warrior, man. That thing it'll turn on you right now. I mean, It just goes from 0 to hold on to your hat.
Yeah, that's why everybody that's in our tournament, mandatory, you got to have a life jacket on. I don't care if it's summertime and the water's low. The Scioto, I mean, it is a dangerous place to fish if the conditions, get bad. Because when they get bad, they get real bad.
Yeah.
That actually leads right into this question that Skip asked back in chat just a minute ago.
Hey, before you answer that, I want you to see this comment here. It says, "It's me, Livy. Mom said she's really proud of you and that she loves you. Me and her are watching you right now."
That's awesome.
Oh, I love you, Livy. I'm glad to hear that.
I know how that feeling is when your mom's watching and she says she's proud of you. So I wanted to make sure you saw that. And now we'll get back to this here. Skip wants to know a little bit more about that river app you were talking about, and what is. Actually, I don't know if I want to know what your cutoff is for unsafe conditions after that story.
My cutoff probably higher than what it should be really. So I'll use the river app. I'll look at it. So I go off of the cubic feet per second more than I do feet. I think the flow of the river matters more than how high it is. So what I'm looking at is I don't want it above. The highest I've ever been on it was 5,000, and that wasn't by choice. The highest I like to be on it is around 4,000 to 4,500. I got on at 4,000, and by the time I got off, it was like 5,050. It was rolling pretty fast.
Gotcha.
So what's the name of the app again?
It's called the River app, or just River app.
River app. That's
okay.
I just thought you were saying there. I'm just using the River app, and I'm like, well, we need to know what it is.
Yeah, it's this River app. It shows the Ohio. It shows every river in the United States. It has the flow. So any flow that you could look up from from like a website or anything, like what is it, United States waterway or whatever. Any flow that you can look up through that website, they use that information to put on the app.
So for looking at Chillicothe, where is the closest access for it to gather information?
So it gathers information right below the Bridge Street Bridge is where it gathers information.
That is right there?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
There you go, River app.
Add that to the list.
Livy says, love you too, Aaron.
I'm glad to hear that. Love you, Livy. Love you, Mom. Glad you guys are watching.
Harold says that has every river in the world.
Yep.
Skip says, okay, you've got the app. Thank you.
Yep. Nothing wrong with more information. I've got gauges and things, but hey, more information is always great. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking at that.
So another app that I want to give people that I don't think a lot of people know about this. It's a very helpful app. It's helped me find many good places to put in. So it's called Go Paddling, and it'll show you kayak. It'll show you boat ramps, kayak put-ins. It'll show you anything like as far as the higher river, any river. It'll show you places that you could actually put in different boat ramps that you'd never find without having that information. So Go Paddling.
Go Paddling.
Yep, it's a kayak.
Reminds me of grade school. I got paddled a lot.
And this is great information, for
Yeah,
those of us that go
I'm getting
fish
this
strange
stuff
bodies
done.
of water, try to do some research. That's great information to have right there.
Yeah, like all up and down the Ohio River, Mississippi River, it'll show you the Scioto. Anywhere, any boat ramp, or anything that's even close to the boat ramp that you could possibly take out at, it'll show you on there.
Harold says that the cider right now is running at $21.90.
Yeah, that's good fishing right there. That's good fun.
Look, he's looking off to the side like, I wonder if I can get out of here.
Yeah.
Dave Funks tells us, I actually didn't realize this, that the Scioto is actually fed by 4 lakes north of Columbus. And when they're releasing water, it can get crazy down there. So I didn't realize it was, I knew it was,
Okay.
it had a couple contributing factors, but I didn't realize it was fed by 4 different lakes.
Yeah.
Fishing the Dream, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. And Adventures of Robin, if I missed you earlier, I say thank you. But she's saying this is very helpful. So appreciate you sharing the information. Look, me and Jeremy are both writing stuff down.
Oh, yeah.
It's no problem.
I forgot we had a guest for a second.
What is it?
What'd you say?
Oh,
okay.
I got caught up reading chat, and I missed what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. I just want to help people get on as many fish as they can. I'm in these tournaments. If I can help somebody, get confident enough to fish a tournament, that'd be cool, It
sounded like what you really said was, if I could talk people into fishing these tournaments, I can get more money.
Right. That's exactly what I mean. There you go.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
I see how this guy thinks. I like him.
Yep.
I don't know if you can get me on a kayak. I can get you on the river. You can come down and fish in the river out of my boat with me, but I don't know if you can get me in a kayak. We actually had Kevin Walters ask earlier, and I think I know the answer, but how are these newer stable kayaks, when you get up to around, 300-pound range, by the time you're 300 pounds and add all your gear, are these kayaks out there, accommodating to guys, bigger guys, or is that just something they need to avoid?
This is I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Them kayaks are about like a John boat. They say you can put them up to 550, but you can put a lot more than that on them. I'm telling you, I know, Mike, he probably pushes 700 pounds on his, way over the limit. And he probably weighs less than 200.
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, you still got, looks like you got, this is what I love to see. You got, I'm going to assume their family out there that's saying proud of you, Aaron, from Facebook. But that's a huge thing right there is, when you got support from your family and friends that encourage you to keep chasing your dream and to do what you love to do.
Yeah. I think I got my drive from my dad. I'll tell you, my dad is a big rabbit hunter, big beagle hunter. So he does competition rabbit hunting. Yeah. And
okay,
man, he has so much drive. He'll freaking, get off work. He might work a 16-hour day, grab the rabbit dogs, run them all night, and take them back home and just sleep in his van or whatever, and just get them ready for them competition hunts. Ooh. And I think I got the same drive when it comes to fishing. If it's a day off, I'm fishing the entire time. It's nothing for me to go out and fish, over 24 hours.
And I see that trend a lot with a lot of the kayak catfish anglers in general. Y'all are some warriors. I mean, they ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
Man. As a group, it is incredible the drive y'all have to just stay out and go fishing.
I'll agree with that. If you just go look at, just the kayak anglers we know about, right, that enter their circle, overlaps with our circle, and which ain't a whole lot, but you look at like Aaron, we nothing but, he didn't told us before the stream that's like, why don't you, start a YouTube channel, or how you doing with your TikTok? He said, man, I am so focused on what I'm doing. It's hard for me to even remember to get the camera out. Yep. I miss everything. And he's just extremely driven. And then you see guys like Ryan Bortz and even, Justin Johnson, who's, who's made a career out of, doing what he loves. And I don't know. I got to give it to him. It seems like these kayak anglers just have a little bit more hunger, if that's the right terminology for it.
You're not going to outwork them.
No,
you're not. You're not going to outwork a kayak cat fisherman. Everyone I've ever met, you're not going to outwork them. That ain't happening.
And the way I see it is because everything's harder, right? Everything's harder. They can't take the easy way out of anything. Everything's more difficult than it is in most, a boat setting or a bank setting. Kayak is going to be harder.
Yep.
But I could tell you that I know some guys that love to fish from a kayak, and they can get into skinny little places that you can't get a boat. And, I know a guy that likes to pull right up on top of log jams and put a big sinker on and drop it right down and just bang it, bang, bang, bang.
Yep.
And just knock on the door till a flathead comes out and smashes the bait. And when they told me that that's how they fish, I was like, that's crazy. Like, that just sounds like you're going to get hung up over and over again. But then the pictures proved that that works. And I'm like, gee whiz.
Yeah,
but
it's bumping, kind of.
In the head, they're just dropping it right down in the logs like Blinko, man. It's like ding, 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 ding. Get down there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I can see why it would work. You piss them flathead off enough, they're going to want to bite.
Yeah. Or just, curiosity, which is a lot of what I think rattles do. I don't know that they really ring a fish in. I think they might get the curiosity for them to like, what the heck is that? And then your bait does the rest of the job, right?
Yeah.
So, my opinion, that's why rattles are effective or can be effective. Is I think they get the fish's curiosity. Yeah. There are fish and predator or prey, like crayfish and everything else that do make noises on the bottom. So those those signals going out and hitting lateral lines, may actually trigger an instinctive bite. I don't know. I wish it did.
Yeah, that's why I think rattles with cut bait is a deadly combination anywhere you fish, because you got that, you got that action in. It's like a live bait coming from the rattle with that scent trail coming from the cut bait. You can't beat that.
Yeah, I agree. I use mostly line rattles. Every now and then I'll be in a situation where I can use a spook just because of the current we deal with. But I love them. I'm convinced I catch more fish with them than without them.
Yeah,
I think I do too. Well, as a matter of fact, I know I do. I've tried both ways. Now, what type of rattle is it? Well, that's I don't know. Do a comparison and find out. But I don't know. You got Becca mouthwatering over here. She said rabbit hunting. You got my attention. I love rabbit and dumplings almost as squirrel and dumplings. Who's rabbit hunting out here?
Yeah. My dad, heck, we've been rabbit hunting. He's been rabbit hunting since like the 80s or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been rabbit hunting all my life. I didn't get into fishing until I was about 16 and really didn't get heavy until about 2019. So, hunting for rabbit and deer was kind of like, that's how I grew up. And then put a fishing pole in my hands and it was over.
Gotcha.
So you didn't get started till you're 16. What are you now, 18?
So I'm 24 now.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, kill me. We're old, Roger.
My daughter's older than he is.
Oh, wow.
I have to ride the lawnmower.
Okay.
I could be your dad.
I was so much fun, like a roller coaster.
That just got weird. Never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let's change gears a little bit. So, man, we're almost an hour in already. Holy crap.
Time flies when you're having fun, brother.
We're having fun. So tell me a little bit about, all right, so, you've got, it sounds like you've got your river fishing down, right? You've got strategies, you've got points of interest, you've got, thresholds on water, you've got all this. And then you go to Hoover, right? Has absolutely nothing in common with what you do and what you like to do. And you're up there dragging baits, and obviously in this situation you pulled out a win. What did you do to change gears, and how did you approach Hoover that day? that you felt made the difference, or is it common? Do you fish Hoover on a normal basis? I don't know.
I don't fish it that often. I may fish it about once, twice a month max, and that's a lot for me even really. I've only fished a handful of times, so what I did that day is I came up with a solid plan before I went up there. I figured out a spot. It was about, I don't know, maybe a quarter or a mile little square, and I knew that I was going to stay in there because, in a kayak, even though I got a trolling motor, I can't run halfway up and down, the reservoir or anything like that. So I looked up a spot, and I started off shallow. I started off in 10 foot of water, dragging, and I was prepared to drag, suspend, whatever I needed to do that day to be able to get on the fish. I was dragging with planer board, started off in 10 foot of water. It seemed like the shallower I went, the more fish I was catching, the bigger the fish they were. So I ended up going to this cove where it was about 6 foot deep, and I was just hitting them in there. But I was looking at spots where I was, my plan was I was going to drag for a little bit, and if it didn't pan out, I was going to go and suspend on a little. It was almost like a pinch point little area where two ledges come together in a real tight spot. I was going to get in there and suspend and try to get them fish coming out from the morning, coming back into that deeper water. But they were in the shallow, and the time of year with it coming up on, everything's getting ready. At that point, everything was getting close to getting ready to spawn. The time of year, everything was getting up shallow. Crappie were shallow. Everything was kind of shallow that time of year. So I went up in the shallows, and it rained super hard that day. So I think that was another reason why they wanted to move up shallow too. But everything just worked out that day in my favor, and just got lucky, I guess.
Yeah, we watched. I watched Justin's videos up there. Even pre-fishing on Hoover and catching bait, and then actually, the video he put out day of it. Yeah, it was not great conditions by far, but. And here's a question Dave probably knows. I think I know. I don't think the blues spawn up on Hoover.
So
they might go through the motions, but I don't think they actually spawn. They don't reproduce there.
Yep. So I thought that they did for a while. I just got educated on that this year. I thought that they did spawn, but I guess they have to have current. But right. They're still running through the motion, so they're still going to go in spawning areas, from what I understand.
Yeah. They'll go and they'll stage up, but I don't think they will actually even make beds, and I don't think the males will sit on those for very long. And of course, the females, this is the thing that everybody talks about, fishing to spawn is, if you look at the reproductive system of these fish, the female just rolls in, finds a house that a blue made that's suitable. She drops her eggs and she's gone. I mean, she done dropped her and she's back out. She's ready to be caught. I mean, she's back to feeding, and not every single male will also go to spawn and go through the whole actions at the same time. So not only do you have 50% of the fish, which, ideally being females, and they're not spawning because they dropped their eggs and left and they're back to normal, but then not all the males are spawning. So you still got all these catchable fish, in my opinion. Things do slow down, but I know a lot of guys are just like, I don't even fish, for this whole month because of spawn. I'm like, well, I mean, I like to fish too much to quit for a month for anything. I don't quit. I fish 12 months out of the year. I don't care how cold it is or what's going on. I'm going to fish.
I'm the same way, man. Yeah, I'll fish. I don't care if it's spawn or not. There's going to be something biting. I don't think flathead channel blues, they don't all spawn at the same time. So you're going to be able to catch something. You put some bait out there.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. Yeah, when you said that blues were spawning, I wasn't sure if you thought that the blues actually were spawning or getting ready to spawn, but up on Hoover, because they really don't.
Yeah.
There you go. Somebody wants to know, what kayak are you using? I'm guessing you're not in the 10-foot Dolphin anymore.
No, so I use a Jackson Big Rig. Okay. It's a solid kayak. Is it the best in the market right now? I'd say probably not. I'd say if you're looking for a brand new kayak and money's not an issue, I would get the New Canoe Unlimited or the Jackson, Jackson Take 2. That's what Mike's running right now.
Okay.
Both of them are solid kayaks. What you really, if you're going to fish off a kayak, you want an open platform. You want plenty of crack mount space. We can mount rod holders, accessories, anything you want like that. But the open floor is really what you want because, there's some times where I've caught doubles and, you need that room to put them fish in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are the two kayaks that I would recommend if you're going to get into it.
Okay,
I would say for the majority of us, money is an issue.
Yeah, definitely.
So what about a budget-friendly recommendation? So one that's going to give you, a little bit of everything, maybe not the best of everything, but is also not going to kill you because you still got to rig it out, which is going to hurt.
Yeah. So, me and my brother, he started out with a Lifetime kayak, a 12-foot Lifetime Tumerac, and we caught plenty of fish off of them. He used that. I used the Sun Dolphin. It was a 12-foot Sun Dolphin Boss. It was a decent kayak. It had its flaws, but I still caught plenty of fish off of it too. So those are you can find a brand new one for like $500. That's about as budget as you're going to get. And if you find a used one, you may find one for $300. You're not probably going to get a kayak that's worth fishing out of for much cheaper than that.
Gotcha.
Eric says he don't know. I've caught fingerlings up there. They stock that every year, Eric. They've continued to stock that since 2011. So you're going to catch some small fish.
Yeah.
I don't know what size they are when they stock it, whether they're fingerlings or whether they're fray, but they do continue to stock that. And then there's several lakes that are added to the stocking list for this year or next year. I'm not for sure. So you will see some small fish. They continue to add to it all the time.
Yeah, I heard they did stock last year. So this year will be the first year they don't stock it, from what I hear.
Oh, is that right? I was wondering when I saw the schedule update of all the lakes they're going to stock this year, and I didn't see Hoover on there, and I didn't know if those were because they were new, or if that was really all of them that they were stocking. So
okay,
yeah, I'd say they've already got a pretty good established base for blues in there. The fact that they don't reproduce, how long before that number dwindles, I don't know. That's why the guys make more money than us go out there and figure that stuff out. So, man, we're at an hour already in. Hang on, we got another question for Justin here, or from Justin. It says, "Ask Aaron if he'd be willing to teach an old man like me how to fish the river from a kayak." So he's asking, do you do apprentice programs or anything like that yet? Or?
I may have to charge. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say I may have to charge. No, but yeah, I'm limited on because I fish with a lot of buddies and stuff. So I may take a few people out, but I'm not going to go out there and say I'm going to take every person out that message me about it and whatnot. But
exactly.
First come, first serve. A couple people message me, I'll take you out.
There you go. Justin, don't wait. Justin's not on Facebook, so I might have to connect the dots for him there to get his information to you. He's been asking a lot of questions tonight now. So he just got a kayak this last year.
He's trying to learn. Yeah. And
he's starting from scratch right now. Justin, I know you don't know Justin. He's a hell of an angler. He can catch. He will catch anything. He doesn't care what it is. He does not stop. He's an animal.
Yeah. I can attest to that. There's not many people who get in my boat and fish till it's like, okay, all right, that's enough. And he was one of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know that a lot of people are going to probably show up and say, hey, would you, if you hear from Justin, his last name is Mullendorf.
He means business. Yeah.
Yeah. That I can vouch for him. He fishes with me. He's fished with Jeremy down in Louisiana, and he's fished all over the country. Really, he's fished with a lot of great anglers. But he's a real deal. We need to get Justin on the show sometime. That ought to be a fun one.
Ooh, a multi-species show.
Multi-species show. That guy catches everything that swims. Okay. Even when we're trying to catch bait, and he's got shit dragging behind the boat. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like,
yep.
I'm going to try to catch a crappie while we're here. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying
to. I've never had somebody specifically ask me, hey, can we go snag some Asian carp? Absolutely. Let's go. And he had a blast. He did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the one to think of it, but if someone invited me to go do that, I'd be freaking more than happy. That sounds like
Yeah,
good
see,
fun.
the difference is we're not used to that yet.
Yeah.
Now we do have actually up in the Scioto. I don't know how far you come down the Scioto, but at the mouth of the Scioto and onto the Ohio, we have seen Asian carp jump out of the water like you see on TV. When we come up through there, there's a huge shallow flat right as the Scioto dumps into it's all sand.
And they love that.
Flat.
They love that.
And we tried to motor up to come through there, and the Asian carp, popped out of the water, and we're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But
and they get big down here, 30, 40 pounds. Yeah. They get big.
Yeah, we've had guys catch them in cast nets up here. I know up at I believe it was Shawnee Marina last year, they caught a 60-some pound Asian carp.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A lot of bait.
They're done.
We do not need that here. We've already got commercial fishing taking out all of our big fish, and now we got Asian carp coming in. And I don't know if it's true. Maybe somebody else does, but they say they eat eggs and they hurt numbers of fish because they eat their eggs. And I don't know.
Well, the science says that they're a plankton feeder, just like a shad and many other bait fish. They are out competing the bait fish for their source of food. Therefore, and slowly they just take over because of the reproduction rate and how much they can eat. They're just out competing the shad and and mullet and other things for food. Eggs. I don't know about all that, but that's what the scientists say.
Yeah. Kevin says, have that size carp jump in your boat. I actually did. We actually had, I don't know, these were like 15 pounders, maybe 20 that were jumping into my boat when we went fished fishing for freedom. We fished the Mississippi up by Keokuk, which you hear a lot of, Tim Scott Epic talk about Keokuk. He basically kind of said, hey, check this area out. The Dead Man's Hole. I'm like,
yeah,
no, that sounds like a great place to be. Don't fall in, he said. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had Asian carp jumping in the boat at that point. We thought it was fun at first. We was like, hey, you see it all everywhere else. And then we realized this is not fun. Get these things out of here. They tear up everything.
I'd use them for bait.
Yeah.
I said they'd be cut up for bait if they jumped in my kayak.
They were. They got cut up.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
They are a good bait. Man, that hour went by quick. Does anybody else have any questions? Because honestly, tonight's show has pretty much turned into me and Jeremy hanging out with Aaron and just talking. And,
it kind of did.
Mixing in you guys' chat questions and everything. So I really appreciate the engagement from the chat tonight.
Absolutely.
But I told Aaron, we'd be on here for about an hour, and I don't know what you got going on, but we could probably do this for another 6 hours if we don't stop. So
it has happened before.
Yeah,
it's happened before.
We've been known to run till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning back in the day.
Yeah, it's happened
back in the day. But does anybody else have anything that they'd like to ask of Aaron? Aaron, first of all, thank you for taking the time to come in here and hang out with us, man. You gave us some great tools, apps that you're using. I seen comments coming in chat like, holy crap, this app has everything. I think I can't remember who said it. I thought it was Richard, but I'm not for sure.
Oh yeah, it was actually
Fishing and Freedom. Yeah.
Yep, it was.
So I mean, we've learned from you, which is great. That's one of the things that's great about the community is we're always learning new tricks and sharing information. And you said it earlier. You just want to help people catch more and bigger fish, and that's one of the things that make you smile. And all right, we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. And that's what drives Jeremy and I. Why we do this show every week is we want to help grow the community, help share knowledge, and help people catch more and bigger fish, and find the tools and tricks along the way that help that easier or more affordable, whatever it turns out to be. Somebody's asking if you ever fished the northern part of Scioto. So I'm not sure if that means above Columbus.
I've never fished above Green Lawn. That's the farthest I fished. Yep, right. So I've never fished above the first dam.
Okay.
I got you. Is that just for geographical reasons, like traveling that far, or does the fishing get, seem to get less abundant the further you go, or what's the reason?
There ain't really any big fish up. Well, I'm not going to say there ain't any big fish up there because there probably is, but the numbers of big fish, once you get up past Greenup, the flathead population goes down dramatically. Or not, I said Greenup, my bad, Green Lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Actually, above Greenup, for a good ways anyway, the population of fish is down, but
yeah.
All right. So above Green Lawn, you feel that the numbers just aren't there to invest your time in.
Right. Not only that, I mean, it's a drive for me. I mean, it's like to get up to Green Lawn, it's like over an hour.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I plan on fishing. I'll be at Hoover this weekend. We got a chicken challenge coming up on Father's Day. I'm not sure why. I believe in chicken this time of year, man. I like chicken. We were catching fish last night that mussel shells were falling out of their rear end as we're trying to hold them up and take pictures. They're pooping out mussel shells. I mean, they are on the mussel beds, and there are mussels in Hoover, by the way.
You guys pretty good on chicken, man.
Yeah, I've actually done really well with chicken up on Hoover, especially this time of year. Will it work this weekend? I don't know. I've only fished Hoover, I think, once this whole year. So, I like Hoover, but even though it's only, it's about 2.5 hour drive for me, which turns into an all day event trying to get up there at sunup and all that. So, but I'll be up there this weekend.
Well, if I'm off, I'll be fishing this weekend, but it ain't gonna be for catfish.
What you fishing for?
You want me to say it? Really? But we're gonna try to garfish again. We didn't get to last weekend, but I might be going after sharks.
There you go.
It might be. I think it's that time. It's early, but I think it's that time. So
Jeremy's got bull shark in his area of the Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
He found out last year because something kept cutting his line over and over again, and he finally, I don't know if you went to a steel leader or what you ended up doing, or you just ended up hooking one.
Basically, I got mad and I tied on another Carolina rig, but I happened to have some 150-pound leader line. I tied that on, and when we got it to the boat, it was getting dark. When we got it to the boat and it broke the surface, we found out it was a bull shark.
There you go.
Yeah, we caught 2 that night.
Those are the surprises everyone hopes for whenever you're catfishing, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's not going to happen around here, I don't think. But
No.
Yeah, you never know.
Justin says, when are you ready to hit Hoover? He's ready to go. So if you can't tell, Justin's chomping at the bit over here. He's just slobbering and everything by now, but foaming at the mouth.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be down. I'm always down to go fishing. I'm off for the next 2 weeks. I took a little vacation because I'm going up to Sandusky Bay. I don't know anybody that's watching. Look into it. If you're a kayak fisherman, look into online catfishing tournaments. Our national trail.
Whoa, we lost him.
Whoa, the phone might have died or something. I just heard it cut off all of a sudden.
Yeah, he just disappeared. Sounds like he was saying anybody. There's a national trail going up to Sandusky, Ohio. I don't remember the dates. Let me see. I'm on his Catfishing Chaos.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. I think he's back. Hang on. Yep, there we go. All right, there we go. Got you back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
It happens.
But yeah. Anyways, what I was saying is anybody that's watching, if you're a kayak cat fisherman, so Sandusky Bay, anybody that doesn't know about the bay, probably one of the better channel catfishing spots in the U.S. Arguably one of the better ones. I mean, multiple fish over 20 pounds, a lot of fish over 10 pounds, and the numbers. And I think Roger talked about it on one of his podcasts, a while back, or not too long ago. But yeah, Sandusky Bay, we're having a tournament up there, and before a single entry for the kayak tournament, it's already up to $7,000 just in sponsor money.
Ooh.
So $10,000. It'll be the highest paying kayak catfishing tournament in history so far that we know of.
Wow.
So yeah.
What's the dates on that and time?
So that's going to be this Sunday, I believe. It's going to be the 18th. So it's going to be $150 entry fee. It'll be from 7 to 3.
7 to 3, $150 entry fee.
$150 entry fee, but if you win, depending on how he splits it up, he hasn't really said exactly how he's going to split the money up. It depends on how many anglers we have too and whatnot. But minimum, if you win first place, you're looking at least $4,000.
Woo. And that's Sunday, right? So that's the day after the Cabela's, or not Cabela's anymore, but the King Cat boat anglers tournament is up there, and I think they're looking at 150 boats. So that's going to be they're going to get hit hard on Saturday. You may have your work cut out for you on Sunday.
Yeah, King Cat's actually sponsoring our event. They're throwing $5,000 in towards our kayak tournament. So what they're wanting to do, I don't know if you heard about this from Mike, but so they're wanting to go hand in hand with us, pretty much have Mike as an employee, and pretty much we're going to run our tournaments off of their King Cat trail. So we're going to hit the same waters they are.
Okay.
Everything is the potential plan.
All right. Justin's asking, is it by weight or length? So what are the stipulations?
It's going to be all by length. Yep. So it's all by length. So everywhere else where it's just flatheads and blues that you're primarily targeting, it's a 3-fish limit. Now I might be wrong, but I believe this Sandusky Bay, since it's, you're going to get on so many fish potentially up there, it's a 5-fish limit up there. But yeah, it's by length. Yep.
So your best 5 by length.
Yep.
There you go, Justin. If you need any more information, just let me know. I can talk to Aaron, and I know a couple other people. Actually, no, I don't know anybody else that on the kayak side. So if you need more information, we can put together for you. Is there a specific board you need to measure? So I know a lot of them, go to the musky boards or the bunk boards and all that, but do you have to have like a certified?
Yep. So what you have to have is a musky bumper. So they have a $20 option, which you can get the $20 sticker and you can DIY it, put it on a board, you could put it on something. So they got the $20 option up to what I use is the Fat Boy, which is, I think it's $110 if I'm not mistaken, but it has to be musky bumper. And the reason that is we made a deal with Musky Bumper. They sponsored our event, and our deal was that we would make it to where it's the only legal board to use in our national trail. So it has to be a Musky Bumper.
That sounds like a pretty fair trade-off, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
Someone's saying y'all need to come to Indian Lake for the 28th annual Catfish Tournament, August 3rd to the 6th. That's 3 days. 3rd, 4th, 5th. That's 4 days.
It's 4 days.
Yeah, a 4-day long catfish tournament. I want more information on that. That's August 3rd through 6th. I've heard a lot about Indian Lake, to be honest with you. Huge channel cats, big flatheads, and I thought awesome crappie fishing.
I heard there's some good saw guy in there.
Saw guy? All right. Ever fish Indian Lake for flatheads? There was
I haven't, but I have seen, like, I'm in one of the groups. I've seen a lot of big flathead get caught out there.
Nubby, what's going on? Roger, let's do it. Big saw guy too. Which one are you talking about? The August one?
He wants to do them all.
I know. I was like, I can't. Everything. There you go, Jeremy.
Yeah, I know. He keeps making noise. He's going to be. You want him for your chicken tournament? I can arrange that.
There you go. All poultry or all fowl. Yeah. It's a fowl tournament.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, we're gonna let Aaron get out of here, and we're gonna wrap things up for the night. Man, super fast night tonight. Easy night.
Absolutely.
You got a great guest, Aaron. You did a great job. Becca's been dropping his TikTok channel. So be sure to go check him out over there and add him if you like what you see. Obviously, Aaron, very educated, very driven, a lot of passion. And so I absolutely love it. Young guy, that has his family supporting him and driving you. And so I just think it's just awesome all the way around. So
absolutely.
Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us and share all your information. I'm sure you didn't share it all because your competitors are watching.
Yeah.
There's a couple tricks I kept in my back pocket just for a rainy day.
There you go. Smart man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on here. Great talking with you guys. Great podcast. Appreciate everything you guys do.
All right, man. No problem. If you need anything from us or you decide you want to come back on again, you got some big news to share, you're more than welcome to come up and hang out with us anytime, man.
All right. Sounds good. Well, appreciate you guys.
Thank you, brother.
We'll catch the rest of you guys next Tuesday night. Same cat time, same cat channel. Good night, everybody.
Appreciate everybody.